Greetings, dear people of God at Trinity. Thank you for joining me for a reflection for this week. I shop my bookshelves sometimes the way I shop for a new book at Kepler's, letting my eyes run along a display or a shelf and then fall on a title that catches my attention. Sometimes I don't even read the book flap, I just buy the book. The author had me, so to speak, at the title. Everything Happens for a Reason and Other Lies I Have Loved by Kate Bowler. This was the title that caught my eye today. It's in the slot for books behind the bench at our kitchen table. The fact that the sun was streaming in and highlighting the cover probably helped. I love Kate Bowler. She has a Nadia Bolz-Weber spirit and spunk, and I've experienced exactly that up close when I met her, and so I was surprised to hear her story. She is a professor at Duke Divinity School, specializing in the prosperity gospel. And she writes in her book, living what she called a blessed life. At 35, she had a great job, a loving husband, and a new baby. But then she was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. Forced to reckon with her mortality, she faced head-on the limits of the prosperity gospel with its can-do spirit and insistence that everything happens for a reason. Kate was stripped of this certainty, but discovered that life is hard without it, but beautiful, blessed, in a way that it never had been before. God has a better plan. This is a test. It will make you stronger. At least you have your son. You get the idea. Out of the best of intentions, people say amazing things. The straw for William Sloane Coffin, when his son Alex died in a car accident, was when a woman thrust a casserole into his hands at his door and muttered, "I just don't understand the will of God." Bill's response to the woman was, "Your God, Mom, is not my God. My God's heart was the first to break. Bill Coffin's God is my God." Why am I telling you about Kate's powerful book and the truth she raises about the response of others to loss and suffering? Because honestly, I think we all struggle to find the right words when someone we know and love is facing terrible loss of any kind. We don't want to say the wrong thing, see above, but we want to say something, do something to bring comfort. When I arrived at All Saints Pasadena 100 years ago as a young priest, even before I was a priest for that matter, an older man generously invited me to lunch to welcome me. He told me right away that his beloved wife had dreamt and prayed and actually fought for the ordination of women to the Episcopal priesthood. She had died just a few months before I arrived and would not witness my ordination. He told me he missed her terribly, but the people of All Saints had been a source of great comfort in his loss, in his mourning. I offered my sympathy, of course, and then I asked him, if I might, I would so appreciate learning what it was that people did or said that comforted you so much. He responded, "Oh, Franny, the greatest comfort came from those who threw their arms around me at the church door after her service, or when they visited me at home, and they wept. They wept with me, whispering how much they missed her too. I didn't feel as utterly alone." We don't feel so alone when we know that the hearts of others who loved our loved one are also breaking. We don't feel so alone when we know that our God's heart was the first to break. In fact, perhaps the best thing to say, as well as to do, is I don't have words. I don't know what to say. But finally, I was given such a gift today when I visited a new parishioner who, after only a few minutes, felt like we'd known one another for much longer. But she lost her husband 5 years ago, and then her daughter more recently. We prayed together, and then she shared that a great source of comfort for her when she was in mourning after her husband died were these words offered by the canon of the Diocese of Western Mass. The canon said, "This is a hard but holy time. A hard but holy time. A time set apart and sacred." What if we experience, as we experience, the loss that is part of this life and so abundant and pervasive in this past year, we think of it and maybe even live it and offer it up to others as hard, yes, but also holy.